Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Independence You. First things first, thank you for coming. Secondly, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the little thingies below. I don't care if they're positive comments, I don't care if they're negative comments, I don't care if they are feedback, I don't care what it is. Just comment. Let me know how a girl's doing or not doing, or what you'd like to see different, whatever. Currently, I have 2 subscribers. And one of them is my kids. And I have, I think like 16 or 20 views. And I think probably half of those are my kids too. So, you know, I'm moving my way on up, I guess you could say, in the world. Today's conversation is going to be about what I learned this week. What I learned this week was primarily about mental health. I learned that I am not even half as well adjusted as I thought I was. This week I got into a decent little altercation and I punched a hole in the wall. And I'm sure there's some people thinking to yourself, grown ass woman, 29, why would you punch a hole in your wall? I know, I said the same thing. Right hand is swollen a little bit. Definitely shouldn't have, in hindsight. Definitely know I shouldn't have, you know, as it happened. But then there comes that conversation of rage and not making sure that you think before you act. Which then, after I spoke to my therapist, after the whole incident occurred, transitioned into the fact that, like, I was depressed, am depressed, slightly depressed, just as a collective whole. Me starting my YouTube channel hit me with some real serious realities. Like, it's completely different watching yourself back on camera. I know that I had commented on like my double chin before, but let me tell you, it's way bigger than I thought it was. My cheeks are way fatter than I thought they were. My hands are way bigger than I thought they were. And strangely enough, it gave me anxiety. It gave me the anxiety of like, oh my goodness, who are these 16 or 20 views? How are they potentially judging me? What is it that they're possibly thinking of me? And the fact that we live in a society that can bother you that much is crazy. I shouldn't care if I post a video for 7 billion people to see what these 16 people or views, because they might even be different people, what they might think. And then I was like, well, you know, it's a lot. The only reason you're thinking about that is because you don't like the way that you look. If you like the way that you look, you'd be very unbothered by what anybody else had to say about it. But because it's an issue for you, that's why you think it's an issue for them. So, yesterday, completely renewed spirit, got in here and cleaned up my room. I learned talking to my therapist that keeping your mess around you cluttered keeps your mind cluttered, and sometimes also keeps your feelings cluttered. So I went out and got a little cleaning and dusting supplies, as you can see over this shoulder. Vacuumed, you know, cleaned my bathroom, just everything. Only thing I got left is laundry to go do, which we're getting ready to do as soon as I get done doing this. You know, it made me drink my water. It made me like reevaluate every single thing that I was feeling, because if I'm really gonna dedicate to this channel, that means I'm gonna be in front of this camera 3 days a week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, which means 3 days a week I'm going to have to be forced to take a look at the reality, which is myself and how I look, and how I look makes me feel. But sometimes how you look and how it makes you feel, you find yourself, you know, binge eating or you know, different forms of an eating disorder. But the reality is that they're all still rooted in how you feel about yourself. I realize that myself is not healthy, as I stated before, and I realize that myself would like to make a change, but it's easier to stay where you are than to go and do something different. So here's to day 1. I think I've had day 1. I've probably had 90 days worth of day 1s, just like literally anybody else, and dropped 20 pounds and gain it all back, or clean this out, or detoxify this, or, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever the buzzword is of that year. I've done it. I've been fighting this battle for, I think, yeah, just about 10 years now, because I just turned 29 and I had my last child at 19 in January. So I've been battling this weight for 10 years. And it's like I clean up my diet with one thing and I replace it with something else, which is kind of the same form of being an addict, is it not? Most people who stop smoking, they gain weight because then they start eating. Or if you stop drinking, then they start smoking. Like, it's the same thing. I feel like I recognized me consuming sugar, like liquid calories, like my sodas, my Starbucks drinks and things like that. I completely took those out of my diet, started drinking more water, but then started eating more actual sugar. So more candy bars, more things like that. And I'm not even addicted to salts. It's all sweets, which I guess it doesn't really matter which devil you dance with as long as it's the devil still. So that's what I learned this week. I learned that depression manifests itself in many, many different ways. I learned that this camera is not forgiving. And I learned that if I don't like it, then I have to change it. And what hit me with that reality was just simply the anxiety of what other people thought of me who were watching these videos. So here's to some intermittent fasting from 12 to 8, a little bit of celery juicing. I know everything it takes to get it done. I just didn't really want to participate because, as I said last time, it's just easier to eat what you want and work at a restaurant and get all the foods for free and all the greasy, cheesy whatevers. It's just easier that way. But if I know that I don't like looking at it, then it's time for me to do something different. Whew, that was really hard to say. It's really hard to say that I don't like looking at me, because I've always justified it that I wasn't going to change me for the sake of other people. Whether it was a man, whether it was a best friend, whatever the case may be. I was like, if I'm gonna be fat, I'm gonna be fat and I'm gonna own it. And I'm gonna own it just for me. Like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. And that's fair. I don't really care what anybody else thinks. But then when I start thinking about other people's statements when it comes to them watching the video, the only reason I would be so bothered is because I'm so bothered. It's because I'm bothered by the way I look. I recognize that the 80 extra pounds I have on me is a problem. I recognize that it no longer looks good on my frame. So that's it. That's all I got today, guys. I'll be back on Tuesday check-in. Tuesday's check-in will be about the celery juice, the apple juice, my business dealings with closing more insurance leads, which I just got an email as I was on here about me getting new insurance leads. So I'll be running leads all Tuesday, and potentially maybe some on Monday too. So detox, diet, and how much I've been moving around. I actually plan on jump roping today. Got my Apple Watch all charged up, so I'm ready to hit it and get it. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Leave me our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. You know, emotional outbursts. Is there somebody else out there who's been going through the same thing this week? Or just in life in general? Need an accountability buddy? Because I do. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.